So recently I put out a short from a show that I did about 4 years ago. Well, 4 years ago. I was a guest on Maria Menounos, who was my former boss at Best TV and friend. She's my friend. She asked me to join her show, and she had another special guest, Ed Milet, who's a thought leader, and he's got businesses. He's a big guy in many circles. A lot of folks follow his philosophies and his thoughts. And I had heard of him before. But I got to meet him on the show, and talk a little bit after the show and stuff. He was super nice. My experience with him was super sweet, super nice, great listener, very complimentary to me. Um, he was all the things I kind of heard about him as. So I was very happy about that. I'm trying to think. I feel like I want to do him a little justice. Let me see if I can. I want to, because I feel like I don't want. I want to do better justice than that. But I did this video, and there he is. Okay, he's an entrepreneur, an author, ranked number one speaker in the world. He has the Ed Milet show. I just want to kind of. I want to give him more than just. He's some guy, but he's a thought leader. He's people love him, follow him. So I had the pleasure of being near him, and we had a great time. So I posted I have several clips on my post, but I posted one clip about forgiveness, and he actually gave me praise just to watch that clip. He said something. He said, "In 30 years he's been doing this, I taught him something," which of course is wonderful. Education never stopped. I was very flattered by that. I couldn't believe it. So, but the thing was about forgiveness. The clip was about it's a smaller. We had a huge conversation. I was explaining how I forgave my father and just my childhood and all that. And for some people, they were just like they were responding to the clip were like, how do you forgive? Like, how do you really forgive? And especially when you can't forget that kind of stuff. So I thought, let me do a video. This is what I'm a certified life coach. This is what I do. This is what the show a lot of help is for. It's about mental health also. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about just kind of I've told my story on certain things, but I thought let me share it on here with you. So it's like kind of like a follow-up video to that short. I had heard a phrase in Oprah from Brene Brown that changed my life. And I have a video on here about that too somewhere, so I'm sure about that too. It was it did really well for me, but it was about the definition of forgiveness is giving up the hope the past could be any different. When I heard that, it totally changed my life. The definition of forgiveness is giving up the hope the past could be any different. What that said to me was that what happened happened. No matter what goes forward, it's already happened. You can't go back and change it. You can't erase it, whatever. You're never going to forget it. That person did it, or that situation happened. It's done. So even if somebody who did something to you says, "I'm sorry," or doesn't say they're sorry, that thing still happened. So you look at it two ways. That thing still happened. Screw you. I'm never going to forgive you. Or you can go, I forgive you. Because that happened. It's done. Can't go back. Um, can't take it away. Can't change it. And so why am I holding on to the residual anger from that? That's what that thing said to me. Now, I'm telling you, I'm not a saint. It took me 20 years to get to where I got to. I was with therapists, and my Aunt Faith, and God, and reading. So it took a while and time. I think what's so interesting is that time actually does give you distance. They say time heals all wounds. I don't know if like that, but it does give you distance from the wounds. And once you recognize, okay, yes, that happened. It's part of you. You find a way. I found a way to put it as part of my life. It's some of this. There's several many things that happened in my life that was not good, and life's about ups and downs. It just is. It's all man-made. Whatever we do, it happens, right? We live in the world. There are things that happen that are just none of our, you know. But one of the people who wrote to me was like, but it's hard for me to let go because they get to walk around having done what they done did. And I get that. I get that. What is that? There's a saying out there. It's a saying out there that it's a revenge is like trying to put like you're poisoning yourself, waiting for them to die or something. That's what it is. I know I'm butchering it, but I totally get it. People do what they do for what they do. And I've been learning this in business and personal. You have to let go. You just do. I'll never forget the stuff that they do. I'm an elephant, I'll never forget. But you just find a place for it. And it's actually, I found for me, it's even better to turn it into a lesson, make it constructive. Kind of, okay, well, that person, I had somebody who did communicate with me. We were supposed to be working in business together, just disappeared. I'm sending emails, no responses, and no response. And after a while, I decided to send a text, and it was just kind of like, "I've been busy." Okay, so that's for 2 months. You've been super busy. Okay, when you wanted me to help you, either way, I had to instantly forgive them. Just go, you know what we have going on is not important to them. So what is the lesson, James? Don't focus on them. Why are you focusing? They came to you and said they want to be a part of what your success is. And you're willing to do whatever you need to do to help them get there. If they don't meet you halfway or at all, then you got other things you got to do. So why focus on the people who do communicate really well and are right there. And so you got to turn it. It's like you got to turn it another direction. That's fine, folks. Over here, you have a good time, a good life. But James Lott Jr. is going to go over here and focus on these four people who really do communicate. They're taking my advice. They're doing what they're doing. They're having success. If you want success, you'll come back to me or you'll do what you have to do. But I remember I didn't comment. I didn't go off. This is growth. I didn't go off. I was like, okay. I think they heard by okay, but went into damage control, which happens too. So to me, damage control is the same as being earnest. It's more like, well, no, and I get this long email kind of answering these things from my last email, and I didn't respond. I just didn't. I haven't responded. I was like, but I've sent them other emails since then about other different topics. But on this thing, I was just like, either you want to do this or you can't. If you are super busy and you have not found a way, or don't have the push to find a way to include me in our collaborations, that's on you. That's not on me. And why be mad at you? And like why like this is your life. Like if you're doing this to yourself, why am I being mad at you? Yeah, I'm hurt that you didn't communicate with me and stuff, but like get over it, James. Get over it. It's like literally just like you have to get over it. Your feelings are valid. You did blah blah blah, all that. But like at some point, you gotta let it go. Just go, okay, well, now I know you're not a good communicator right now. You're not, I don't think you're serious. So again, I'm not gonna focus on you on that stuff. I'm gonna leave you alone. Now, if you come back to me and bring stuff up, whatever, then that's a different story. But for right now, why should I keep hounding? Why am I hounding you on something that's not on your list of important things? For whatever reason, it doesn't matter if it's about me or not about me, it doesn't matter. The part about forgiveness, it's about you. The forgiveness is for you, not for them, not for anything else. It's for you because we're the ones who feel the feelings, right? Let's just be real. We get hurt, you feel the feelings. And when you get hurt, you want somebody else to hurt. You want to hurt back. That's just natural. I'm petty as fuck in my brain. There are times I'm just like, I want to be petty. I want to just, but I mean, in reality, I don't do it because I have to look out for myself and just go, okay, well, the ones that are answering back and the ones that can do it. I have other partnerships that just fell apart. I have partnerships that are wonderful and great and they have success. Then I have people like, well, James, how is this happening? And that I'm like, you're not participating in the level that I could help. That if you did, I would help you be there too, possibly. Had another collaborator, same thing. Just like you didn't include me in a bunch of stuff. I thought we were collaborators. I guess you caught again, damage because you caught yourself later because of my reactions. And again, I don't go off on anybody anymore. I don't go off on anybody. I'm just like, okay. I literally did not go to a premiere. I literally didn't participate in answering. I'm like, you didn't include me. So why am I going to waste my time and energy on you? This collaboration stuff needs to be together. Family members, you have nothing to use for me for whatever reason. That doesn't mean anything bad. You have no use for me. I felt left out before. I'm like, well, James, let it go. Don't look for them for anything. That's the whole point. If a cousin comes around and it's something positive, take it. But I also hold on to the past thing. Just my thing is just like, okay, I know how you're acting, so I won't buy into anything. And so then if we do talk later and you're trying to tell me something, I might say to you, just like, are you sure? Because I know in the past, blah, blah, blah. I will hold people accountable to stuff, but I'm saying I'm not mad. I'm not really mad. I'm just saying that these are the facts of things that happen. And now you're trying to say you're different. So, and people do change. People go, that's the other thing. Forgiveness too is good because sometimes people are going through stuff that we don't know about. We have no idea about. They're going through something and you're just like, well, I had no idea to tell you. I had one friend who was like that. I was like, okay. But because I wasn't angry and when I was invited back over after several years of not being invited, they laid it out for me and told me everything that was going on. And I was like, God bless America. The thing is, fall over, sorry. It was serious. They had a lot going on. Like, okay, got it. I was like, got it. I was like, okay, I get it. That was you had some stuff going on. It was serious, and it was a lot. So that happens to us too. We go through things. I know personally now have gone through a chronic illness, caregiving blocks, where your life is exactly what just that is. And you just you hope he will forgive you because you're just like, well, I'm in the middle. Right now, my life is this. That's it. It's not anything else. I know it's crazy. Um, so I'm just like, so I'm. That's how I kind of. It took me years to get there, but that's how I came to it. Forgiveness is for me. It's not for anybody else, and it's. I don't want to hold on to stuff. I just don't. I just don't. I really don't. It's I feel lighter when I know when I look at the facts and kind of go, okay, not saying I don't ever have feelings. I feel them and I kind of cuss it out or whatever. But at some point then I start the road of I gotta just like let it go. Because it does feel better not to be I have friends who just they're always angry and mad about something. And I just feel bad for them because I'm like, that's because none of that's helping you any. It's not helping any. It's not helping. It's not helping. Is it helping you? No. Is it moving you forward? No. So it's kind of like you're just holding into it, and it can make you sick too. There's all those things about making things sick. So I don't know. So for me, the answer kind of is it took me 20 years, adult years. So it took me 40 years to get to that spot where I was on a road of free, and it took like another 5 or 6 when I had to put it into practice. Never ever since. And in that short, I talk about um, not having to fight. My father is the biggest person I've had to learn forgiveness for. My father and my mother, and my father especially. And I said I was the father my kids didn't have. So I was able to actually forgive my father in many ways. I know it's hard being a parent. One of the hardest things it is to be a parent. to parent somebody, to raise them, to co-raise them, whatever. It's a lot of work. I learned a lot about myself and about my father through that. And I was able to forgive me, him, the whole situation. My father's rejected my forgiveness. I've actually told him. I had a chance actually to tell him this. He's rejected it. So I still walked away going, okay, you rejected it. That's fine. And that's hard too. Oh, trust me, I wanted to cuss him out, but I didn't. I was like, okay, you don't forgive, you don't like my forgive. Okay, got it. Life will go on. It has, because again, a lot of these folks aren't even in your life anymore. Now, I will say this on occasion, because I'm human, I want somebody to be very clear. There are some folks where it takes longer to forgive than others. So there's times where you're like, you may see them or see them online and have a petty thought. That's okay. But still keep trying to stay on the road of trying to keep forgiving them and moving on. But there's a few that have petty thoughts too. I'm like, ugh. Then there are others I really have finally went through the whole forgiving process and I'm okay with them. So it can't happen. A lot of help.com. You need some help? I'm a certified life coach. A lot of help.com. You can start there. Contact me underneath this video. Contact me. We can set up a session. I can tell you pricing, and I can help you get started on forgiveness if that's what you need to do. A lot of help on Facebook, James Engineer, everywhere else. I'll talk to you next time.